Oh, we do.
Good job. You got the memo.
Gray and gray.
All right, you ready to roll? Good afternoon. It's Robert and Julia Miller with the J. Patel Group and Rethink Real Estate with another exciting real estate update.
Super exciting today, for sure. Episode 74. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I know, we're close to 75.
We're almost there.
We're almost there, yep.
And we've taken a little jump in subscribers.
We have, yeah. We're really close to 120 subscribers, so we've added quite a few subscribers. I haven't actually got the full count or the real count, so.
You can kind of see 200 in the horizon there.
Right. Welcome new subscribers. And every week we go through the real estate news, economic, regulatory news, housing news as it pertains to real estate.
That's the game plan.
Then we also go through interest rates and inventory at the end. But first, jokes in history.
All right, lay a joke on us.
Okay. What do you call a slab of cheese next to ducks?
A slab of cheese next to ducks?
Cheese and crackers.
You mean cheese and quackers?
Quackers. I always mess up the joke.
You're the worst joke teller in the world, but that is a funny joke. I like that. Cheese and quackers.
Cheese and quackers.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
All right. Good one. We'll give you a A for effort on that one.
I
That
tried.
was a good
Come
one.
on.
Okay. It's important that you be good to your nieces and nephews.
It's true.
What?
There's some more advice to that.
Do you want to know
right?
why you should
why?
be nice to them? Because at some point, you're going to need them to smuggle wine into your nursing home.
Right. You know who you are. You know I need you.
Jesse and Allie.
Jesse and Allie.
Okay, a little bit of history. A couple of interesting things that happened this week. April 18th, 2006, 116 years ago in San Francisco, there was a major, devastating earthquake. San Francisco at the time, bustling, booming city. They were shaping up to be one of the biggest metropolises in the west of the Mississippi.
This was amazing to read about, yeah.
All came crumbling down. A 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck the city. 5:13 a.m. Brick buildings crumbled, wooden structures became engulfed. But the sad part is the tremors destroying the city's water infrastructure system. So firefighters were helpless to contain the fire.
Yeah.
Went on for 3 days, and finally the only way they could stop the fire was they used dynamite to dynamite buildings in front of the fire so that when it got there was nothing to burn, and it finally burned itself out.
So they kind of boxed it in or something, or stopped it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Wow.
3,000 lives were lost, 200,000 were left homeless.
Wow.
Wow.
Incredible. 1906.
Yeah, 1906.
Okay.
Okay, April 18th, 1956, a little drama. 66 years ago, American actress Grace Kelly married Prince Rainier III of Monaco at St. Nicholas Cathedral, Monaco
news.
Villa, Monaco. Before there was Harry and Meghan, William and Kate, even Charles and Diane, there was Princess Grace, and the heir to the throne of one of the smallest nations in the world.
I like Grace Kelly.
Yeah. The Academy, this is interesting how they met. The Academy Award winner and Philadelphia native was the closest thing to an American princess meeting her prince while shooting To Catch a Thief. Makes you want to go watch the movie, doesn't it?
It does. I love Grace Kelly.
In the French Riviera, their extravagant wedding was publicized worldwide as a modern fairy tale come true.
I didn't realize she was a Philadelphia native. That's
I didn't
interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, this week on the 22nd marks 52 years for the first Earth Day.
Wow, 52 years.
Yeah, many years of advocacy from environmentalists, college students, and Wisconsin Senator Gaylord Nelson.
Okay.
Earth Day came to fruition as a day to raise awareness for the nation and the world's environmental problems. What was interesting, I did not realize some of the organizations that were grown out
out
of
of
that
that.
initiative.
Yeah.
Earth Day succeeded in its mission of bringing about change. In July of that same year, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, was established to enforce pollution legislation, the passage of the Clean Water Act, and the Endangered Species
Yeah,
Act.
I did not realize
I
that
didn't
those
kind of
acts
correlate
came
Earth
from
Day
that
and
either.
endangered
Yeah,
species. Yeah, that was awesome. Those are all born out of Earth Day.
acts and the agency that was born out of it. Yeah, or was a part of it. Yeah.
Now this one was interesting. April 24th, 1942, 40 years ago, Jane Fonda released her first at-home
Oh boy.
workout video.
Oh boy.
We always laugh and chuckle about it, but think about this.
And she was in great shape.
Yeah, still 80. She's over 80 now. She's got to be 82, and she's still in fantastic shape. Fonda very well may be the reason why you schlep to the gym every morning to stay in the best shape possible.
Okay.
You want to hear why?
Yeah.
Physical fitness, while always important, is relatively new in the way we think of it today. Previous generations stayed healthy because their work often required physical labor, so scheduling workouts were hardly necessary nor popular.
Yeah.
By the post-World War II years, however, most Americans worked in the office instead of in the fields, and therefore needed a way to stay active and fit. The home gym grew in popularity with Fonda's trailblazing at-home aerobics. It's kind of cool.
That is very cool. We love Jane Fonda in Grace and Frankie.
Yeah.
In the Netflix series, I don't
Yeah,
know,
it's
seven seasons running or something.
7 or 8,
I don't know,
yeah, it's awesome.
great.
It's funny.
Hilarious.
You dig
Lily
just
Tomlin is with her.
a little bit deeper in this, and why did the workforce shift from farm fields to the office after World War II? Well, during the World War II, farmers really stepped up, and they multiplied their productivity so many times. It was unbelievable how much they were able to step up their game and feed the war, basically. And then after the war ended, that level of production became the expectation. So there was far less people required to work the fields, and more people moved into the office.
Which is interesting because during World War II, a lot of the people were coming out of the fields to go and fight the war.
Right, and they still
managed to do that. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So we owe a lot to the farmer in the World War II, what they accomplished.
Yeah.
On April 21st, 1989, 33 years ago, university students began pro-democracy protests in Tiananmen Square in Beijing, China.
Square.
6 days after the passing of Hu Yaobing, the reform-minded leader of the Communist Party of China, who was removed from office, 100,000 students organized in the central square of China's capital city to mourn his loss and advocacy for democratic reforms, freedom of speech, and freedom of the press.
Yeah,
unfortunately, we think of it as a proud moment of people standing up for themselves, but unfortunately it was a human tragedy.
Yeah.
The Chinese government ordered its military to clear the square at all costs, resulting in the murder of hundreds of protesters and the arrest of thousands more. An unknown number of dissenters were executed in the following months, and all talk about a more democratic China were effectively ended. Though the Chinese government continues to suppress information and testimonies from this event, it remains a modern historical marker of the firm grip of Chinese communism being threatened by everyday people.
Still there for sure.
Okay, so that's a little bit of history. We did have...
jump into news next.
Yeah, I had the article on building material prices. We're seeing the cost of homes just keep going up. The price of goods used in residential construction climbed 1.4% in March, following an upward revised increase of 2.2% in February and 4.1% in January. So 3 months in a row, huge increases.
Those are big increases.
It totals 8% jump in building material prices since the start of 2022.
And that price has to go down in the chain, right?
Yeah, the consumer has to cover that cost. Year over year, building material price increased 20.4% and have risen, get this, 33% since the start of the pandemic.
Wow,
33%. That is crazy.
Oof.
Okay, you got a
Alright.
related article to that, somewhat?
Well, somewhat, yeah. I mean, it speaks to inflation, and that definitely is
Yeah,
speaking to inflation.
absolutely.
So this is an article from NAR, Realtor Magazine. Buyers may need to seek homes $40,000 cheaper.
That's interesting.
This caught my eye. Yeah, this caught my eye. So inflation is at a 40-year high. We know this. But what does that mean? How does it trickle down? How does it affect housing? Well, here you go. The average consumer is spending $500 more a month on living expenses than a year ago. As such, home buyers may need to lower their budgets to keep pace.
Yeah, you think about
On
that.
buying a house, that is.
When people are looking at what they can afford for a mortgage payment, they may not be thinking about what they're now paying just recently, how much their cost of living has increased. And if they don't account for that, they could catch themselves being what we call house poor, where they have enough to cover the mortgage, but they're really coming up short on other living expenses.
I know you pulled our budget for March, and we were like, ugh.
Yeah, I was grumbling.
It was hurt a little. It was a little higher than what we've got budgeted.
Right.
So did we overspend? Did
not
we?
Really.
Yeah,
I mean, we had a couple of things come up that were unexpected. Automobile
type stuff. Yeah. So.
Just everything is costing more.
Yeah.
So.
The increased cost of spending on other items impacts the ability of the average consumer to have enough leftover income to purchase a home.
Right.
Yep. Rising inflation, higher mortgage rates, and a tighter supply of housing available for sale are expected to soften housing demand this year. This according to Lawrence Yun, NAR's chief economist. He's predicting the home sales to decrease by 10% in 2022.
Right.
Home prices, however, are expected to continue to rise, and you've got some information from Tom Ruff in those regards. So
every month we get what's called a stat report, and I like to review the statistics, but I also really appreciate the commentary by Tom Ruff from the information market. He has
we used
really
to do
good
the stats.
insight.
We used to do the stats monthly, but kind of got out of habit.
We've gotten away of it. I think
bit.
we need to bring it back
We'll
because
bring it
things
back.
are changing so fast that it's really pertinent information.
I feel like there's a lot of rumors out there and a lot of stuff that's being said that needs to be debunked just a little bit.
Tom really emphasizes that he doesn't make predictions. Even though they forecast what they think is going to happen the next month, it's all done mathematically.
Right.
It's completely black and white, which is one of the things I really like about his
Just
reports.
give us the facts.
Just give us the black and white facts, and we'll do our own commentary and thinking on it.
Yeah.
Arizona's unemployment rate fell to 3.3% in March. That's the lowest in almost a half century.
That is low.
That's
really low, yeah.
Some of the great business that's coming to town and positive things that are happening. Intel is building a new chip factory in Chandler. That project is costing $20 billion. On our side of town here, we have a Taiwanese semiconductor manufacturing company right off the 303 here. That's a $12 billion 5 nanometer chip fabrication plant. Now, this is interesting on the number of new homes being built.
I found this a little unbelievable.
Especially when we drive around, but I think we're taking a little myopic look at things only in our own little world here.
Yeah, we're looking at a
valley-wide
and macro, it's different.
So macro, look at it. There's 3,918 newly built homes sold in the first quarter compared to 4,444 in the same time frame last year. So that number has dropped about almost 12% year over year.
So that is what it is.
The building material cost, I'm sure, have an effect that raises the price, and that cut some
That
buyers out of the
squeezes
market.
some buyers out.
Interest
Yeah.
rates and cost of living, inflation, there's so many factors that are going into it. And
True.
so we're seeing less homes being built. Again, that causes upward pressure on pricing. The average price home in March was reported by ARMLS was $569,752.
Wow.
That is
astounding
that
for
is
an
a
average.
big
Whew.
number.
Wow. Okay.
Rising mortgage rates will most likely lead to a pullback in demand by traditional buyers. And if traditional buyers do pull back, in the beauty of our economy, whenever one thing happens, there's an opportunity on the other side of the coin.
True.
And something else happens. In this case, you have to question, if traditional buyers do pull back, will this open a running lane for institutional buyers to increase their footprint? So,
Yeah.
we're seeing more and more of these build to rent communities popping
Right.
up.
Yeah.
And this may be an avenue where you see more and more of that going on, or big groups.
Well, and by institutional buyers, yeah, that's not the iBuyers. Institutional
No.
buyers are the build to rent.
That's one piece of it, but the other piece is big groups, money funds that buy big blocks of homes, rent them out, let the appreciation build, and they grow that way.
Okay.
So there's kind of two
So a little more traditional.
two avenues there.
Okay.
But the interesting one that he brought up, as a shortage of single family homes and rising home prices both help to put ownership farther out of reach, suburban demand will increasingly shift to single family rentals.
Okay.
The robust demand for home ownership, and this is a piece that we always have to keep in mind, the robust demand for home ownership has been taking such rentals off the market. So
That's true.
we hear it all the time, my landlord is not going to renew my
Right.
lease because they're going to sell
They're
the
gonna
home.
sell.
It's worth 3 times what they paid for it 15 years ago.
Right.
So
You can't blame the landlord. They're ready to cash in on their investment, return on their investment.
exactly.
So,
Um,
yeah, I get it, but it's hard for the average home buyer, or in this case, home renter.
Yeah, a renter,
Um,
maybe you got kind of a price locked in, it hasn't been going up very much, and now you're starting
like,
fresh
well.
and you're going, oh my gosh,
Yeah, I
I gotta pay way more for the
$500
same home, or smaller
more,
even.
Smaller.
Yeah.
A lot of times smaller. Yeah.
But that effect has decreased the single family rental stock by nearly 700,000 units in the years leading up to the pandemic.
Okay.
So affordable housing is particularly in short supply. Kind of reiterating that. So in a conclusion, we have more questions than answers. What we do know, prices will continue to rise at least through June as supply remains scarce. Over the next
Okay.
few months, we'll be closely monitoring demand, both its strength and makeup, as well as the impact of the recent rise in mortgage rates, if any. So
Yeah.
I still think we're going to see a slowing down, but this rate of appreciation is just mind-boggling. I mean, it's got to stop somewhere. Last month's stat mathematical model projected the median sales price for March to be $455,000. The actual number was $460, so very
Higher.
close.
It's
again.
very, yeah, it's very close. Yeah.
Looking ahead to April, their stat is projecting median sales price of $469,500, so an increase
one
of
month?
$9,500.
Whew.
Interesting, if that happens, we'll see a year-over-year gain of 25.2%.
Wow. 25.2.
You remember at the beginning of the year we were
Year over
predicting
year, we were. Go ahead.
even the experts, the gurus were predicting a 7% this
Yeah,
year.
we were thinking, well, we're gonna have higher than normal, but it's gonna be subdued, and we're only halfway through. We're only halfway through, or not even halfway through.
Yeah.
But wow,
I'm thinking the second half of the year is where we may definitely see that slow down. But
I don't think it's going to be quite to the tune of 7 versus 25.
No, but I don't think we're going to keep going at 25%. We can't with the mortgage rates, and if inflation continues.
Wow.
I don't see how that's possible, but we'll see.
Interesting next couple
Looking
months,
into
folks.
Trying to
Well,
predict the
with that,
future.
let's talk some interest rates, shall we?
Well, I don't have new interest rates this week. So last week, continuing into this week, 30-year 5.152, 15-year 4.261, and the VA is just under 5 at 4.797.
Okay.
Now, we were asked, how many homes do Robert and Julia sell in Estancia Village and Trilogy at Estancia, and how many
have we sold?
How many has
That's a great question.
the J. Patel team sold?
We had to
as well?
kind of boil that down to our
Yeah.
numbers. Yeah.
So, for Robert and Julia, Estancia Village, in our careers, we have sold 52 homes in the village. And in
Alright.
Trilogy at Estancia, we have sold 63.
Not bad, not bad.
The J. Patel team has sold 326
Woo.
homes in Estancia Village.
Nice.
That is a lot of homes.
That's a lot of homes.
And in Trilogy, 108.
Okay.
So, again, quite a few homes.
Very good, very good. Well, I'm glad we got those numbers now.
Yeah. Okay, so for inventory, Valley-wide continues to tick up a little bit. We were at 5,120 last week. This week we're at 5,253. Not a huge tick up, but
Okay.
still
Just a
it's
little.
ticking up
Yeah,
a little
just
bit.
a little.
Peoria, pretty flat, went from 146 to 151, and Surprise actually dropped 5. They went from 203 to 198, but basically flat. Trilogy I'm trying to keep the paper flat. I'm sorry.
Thank you. It messes up the focus. The camera
I
tries
see
to
it
focus on the
Jump in
paper.
and out of focus.
Sorry.
It's my fault for
Or maybe it's our hands.
being
Yeah.
so animated. Okay, closer to home, Trilogy at Estancia has 10 homes available. The most affordable is $489,000. The most expensive, $1,195,000.
Is that still that same house?
It wasn't. I was thinking it was $1,250,000, but
Oof.
I could be
Wow.
wrong. Maybe it's
Alright.
the same one. I'm not
We'll
sure.
move on.
Estancia Village has 8 homes available. The most affordable, $430,000. The
okay.
most expensive is still $1,149,000.
Wow.
Blackstone Country Club has 4. Most affordable, $600,000. If you're interested in that one at $3,200,000, please give us a call. We'll be happy to show that to you. Cortabella
We'll
has.
be happy to show you the one at 600,000.
We'll show you any home you
We'll
want.
show you any
but,
home you want to see.
Cortabella has 5 homes available, most affordable being $630,000,
Okay.
and the highest price $949,900. Sun City Grand has 24 available, $369,000 the most affordable, $899,900 tops the
We
list.
should try to go down to Portobello. I mean, Sun City Grand.
Yes,
this
we
week.
haven't made a visit in a while, so we
Try
need
Thursday,
to.
maybe.
Yeah, we need to pop over.
Yeah.
Sun City West has 48 homes available, most affordable $190,000, and the highest price is at $859,000. And finally, Westbrook Village,
Westbrook Village.
8 homes available, most affordable $410,000, highest price is at $670,000.
All right.
All right, that's our report for
That's
this
the
week.
report.
Everybody have a blessed week. Enjoy this fabulous weather, great weekend, and we will see you again next week.
Email us with any questions that you have.
Yes, absolutely.